All right, welcome back. You're watching a Wednesday edition of Liquid Lunch on BizTV, and there is a lot going on around the country. Certainly a lot going on in Republican politics right now, as the party seems to be slightly divided. Some people in both houses are saying they want to contest the electors on January 6th. They're gonna protest. They're gonna object. We need a joint resolution to come together. Tommy Tuberville has said he's done it. Mo Brooks has said he's willing to do it. Yesterday, Cawthon, what's the new guy's? Cawthorn, I can't remember his name. New congressman down there. He'll do it. Madison Cawthorn said he'll join in. But one guy who's fighting it on the street level, literally boots to the ground as we speak, down in Georgia in Cobb County, is Jason Thompson, the Republican National Committeeman from Georgia. And these two Senate runoffs, Jay, are causing a lot of heat, but the election, to me, is still being contested, right down to you today looking to file another lawsuit in Cobb County.
Just filed it. Matter of fact, I was just filing as I was coming on, I was submitting a proposed order to the judge. So we just filed this is on behalf of the National Defense Committee, the Cobb County Republican Party, and their chairman, Jason Shepard. Look, a lot of these counties are kind of gone rogue and doing whatever they want. And this case is kind of interesting because for the first time, I actually have email correspondence with the Secretary of State's office telling the Cobb County Board of Elections that they need to err on the side of transparency. They're not doing. They're not letting people rotate out. The Cobb County Republican Party rotate out their poll watchers, which is something that's always been done. Not allowing people to view the signature verification process and other matters. So there's 3 counts in it. Hopefully the judge will just rule on it. I got a motion for a temporary restraining order, but if not, we'll need to have a hearing. So not something that I look forward to be doing. I'd rather be out, spending money on my spoiled children right now for Christmas. But, it's we're trying to do everything we can to make sure that this, stop the bleeding, really, to make sure that this is a fair election for the 2 senators. I mean, I heard you all just talking about the president, but also we have this red wall that we need to maintain. And I've been doing everything I can. Our whole party here in Georgia has been working very hard.
But Jason, why does it feel like the Republican Party at large in Georgia is completely disconnected from the governor and the lieutenant governor and the Secretary of State? It seems like they're not Republicans.
Well, I don't really know how to answer that question. I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces. Okay, there's a lot of personality conflicts and a lot of moving pieces. And look, we as a party are trying to do everything we can to hold people accountable, make sure the election process is fair and honest.
Okay. In our final minute here, can the Republicans come together in this? Can they make it a referendum on Joe Biden and at least firewall the Senate if all else fails?
Yeah, I think that's happening. Things are going well. We've got a lot of help from our conservative and Republican brothers and sisters from across the United States. Some people are emailing postcards. Some people are just flying here to help go door to door. There's a lot going on. And I'm very positive about this. The most recent polls show both senators with a slight lead. Of course, the people they're running against are scary, crazy liberal. I mean, Warnock is he's so left.
No doubt.
You would think it would be a layup. Anti-Semitic comments. Which is weird because he's hanging out with John Ossoff.
Right.
And Ossoff's a guy who's really never had a job in his life. And except if you count the, business dealings he had with China.
Right.
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 Other than that, he's never had a real job except running for office.
All right. Hey, Jay, have your team keep us updated on this. Anything you need to
Will
get
do.
out there, any results, any hearings, anything that you think is news, please let us know. We'll have you right on right away, okay?
Will do. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Jason Thompson, Republican National Committeeman from Georgia. Now, some shocking news came out yesterday that the wife of Raphael Warnock has alleged that he tried to run her over and actually ran her foot over. So take a look at this, and then we're going to be joined by a very special guest in studio right now, a surprise guest. Former Congressman from Staten Island, Vito Fossella, joins us right after this.
Redness, bruising, or broken bones, but Ule had more to say about Warnock's character.
This man's running for United States Senate, and all he cares about right now is his reputation. I work at the mayor's office, and this is a big problem. I've been trying to be very quiet about the way that he is for the sake of my kids and his reputation. I've tried to keep the way that he acts under wraps for a long time, and today he crossed the line. So that is what is going on here, and he's a great actor. He is phenomenal at putting on a really good show.
As you mentioned, Tucker, Warnock is locked in a tight runoff against Republican Kelly Loeffler, a race that 2 weeks from now.
Welcome back. You just heard from Jason Thompson on the ground down in Georgia. And these guys are obviously battling it out for a Senate seat in a runoff. You saw, we just showed a clip, Vito, of this Raphael Warnock was in some kind of domestic dispute with his wife, and she alleged that he ran her foot over, and she said there's a lot more people don't know about him. I've been keeping my mouth shut, but I'm going to have to start telling everyone the truth. And it seems like with the big runoff going on in Georgia, she's not going to be running anywhere anytime soon because she's got a busted foot. But it would be nice for some real truths to come out. What do you think about these runoffs? You know, they say they typically favor Democrats. What do you think?
I think it depends. I've been in special elections. I've been involved in all different types of elections. It depends on the candidate, the strength of the candidate, the strength of the campaign, the ground game. You know, the cloud that's hanging over this election is there a taint from the November election. And that has caused a lot of, interestingly, angst among a lot of, I think, Republican voters in Georgia and around the country. So that has to be sort of dealt with. When all else is said, you know, one would think that given the results of most down-ticket races across the country on Election Day in November with the Senate, don't forget they said the Senate was going to flip to Democrats, it stayed Republican. The ones that were deemed to be very vulnerable won handily. They said the Democrats were going to pick up seats in the House of Representatives. They lost seats in the House of Representatives. In many of the state races, they actually picked up seats in the state legislatures. So the down-ticket enthusiasm actually was with the Republican Party in November, and that could translate well into November. And I think what's going to really make a difference, in addition to the ground game, the candidates, and these things that are going to come out between now and the next 10 days or so, everything's going to come out, right? Is if you're an independent, sort of moderate on the fence, you don't know which way to go, do you want to give the keys to the kingdom to the entire Democratic Party, which means that they will have this House, the Senate, and the White House, and then all the things that come with that, which they've said perhaps potentially packing the Supreme Court, any firewall on tax increases, that's
also
gone.
Talking about making Washington, D.C. a state where they get a senator
no
or two.
Question about it.
And making Puerto Rico no longer a territorial state and get another one or two senators there. And then they kind of wall us off, Vito, from they could do anything they want with the Supreme Court. You broke down months ago for us that if they control both houses and the White House, they can literally appoint as many judges as they want. It's not capped at 10 or 12 or 20. It could be 100 on the
That's
Supreme
exactly
Court.
right. So there's no sort of rule of thumb. And if you remember, the candidate, Biden, indicated that he was going to wait till after the election to tell us, to my knowledge, that is not forthcoming. So once again, I think the independent, moderate, middle-of-the-road candidate may say, you know what, I want to check on the other party, and therefore I'm going to vote for the Republican.
So if you live here in Staten Island and you are a Republican, you only voted for him. The guy was like undefeated. You were undefeated, right?
Yes, I was.
You never lost as a candidate.
No.
No.
No, I was very lucky. People gave me the trust to represent them here locally and in Congress.
And, you know, another thing was it's sunny outside, so I guess today is sun's out, guns out day. You know, I see the way you got. I see the way you're flexing it up
actually,
on the desk.
I'm doing a lot of running around today. So.
You got to get everything ready for the big Christmas celebration.
Well, Christmas, we can still celebrate Christmas here as we should.
I think we can.
No, we know we can.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. Vito's going to stick with me. We're going to come back and wrap up this Wicked Wednesday edition of Liquid Lunch on BizTV. It's great to be back, and we'll be back with you right after this.